My future self came to see me today. She told me that in order to have the life I saw her in, that fulfilled, peaceful, abundant life, I have to continue being a compassionate human who truly cares about people, who accesses empathy easily, and works in a timely way. Make every moment count. Make it last forever.
Hi, everybody. Hello. It's my first time going live on my actual page, and my son is with me. So bear with me if you hear any little baby sounds in the background. It is Cameron Lee who is with us. He's usually very good. Hello, everybody. If you're chiming in live, say hello. Hello, hello, hello. And if you see me looking at two screens, it's because I am looking at my Instagram and at my Facebook at the same time. It's December 1st, guys. I can't believe how fast it has gone. November has come and gone. The kids went off today with their little Christmas hats. It was a calendrier de l'Avent, and everybody had permission to wear hats for the rest of the month of December at school. So fun times for the kids. December is all about tuning in and healing. Now more than ever, we need tools and strategies that help us to adapt and to overcome the enormous amount of stress we are exposed to today. And of course, I say now more than ever because we're living in the midst of a pandemic. And it's hard for us to even remember how it was before this pandemic hit. If you're chiming in, say hi. I'm going to try to catch you on my screen here or on Instagram. And there was a study published in the peer-reviewed journal, Brain Behavior and Immunity, and it investigates the dynamics of psychoneuroimmunology in COVID-19 and found that psychological stress appears to increase severe reactions to COVID-19 infections, and COVID-19 appears to make psychological stress worse. So it exacerbates it. So it's like a vicious cycle, right? The research in this field of psychoneuroimmunology has uncovered that stress elicits an inflammatory response that, if unchecked, can cause severe problems to our immune function, right? And furthermore, a CDC meta-analysis shows that the number one risk factor, and most of you may know this already, for death from COVID-19 is obesity. What we don't know as much or as well, and what isn't spoken about, is the second leading factor, which is anxiety and fear related disorders. So fear is literally killing us. It's creating an underlying susceptibility that should be front page news, right? But it isn't, because what's pushed in front of us is always fear-based media, right? For the past year and a half, we've been swamped with fear-triggering news. And by the way, as you know, this kind of news is not it's not new. The media in general, when we look at our news, is fear-based. just particularly in this time in human history, we feel it very strongly, and it's felt as a collective, which I believe amplifies it. This constant bombardment of things to be afraid of, right? And fear without tools to bring logic to it is dangerous. Fear shifts the function of our brain. I'm hoping that my camera is high enough that you guys... The more evolved prefrontal cortex, and that's the part that's responsible for executive functioning and social control and distinguishing right from wrong, we start losing activity. And other parts of the brain, like the amygdala, start to show more activity. Now, this part of the brain, the amygdala, is driven by emotion. Logic takes the back seat, right? And we all know that if we're going to make a split-second decision based on emotions, it may sometimes work in our favor, but it also may leave a permanent decision you may not have wanted on a temporary emotion, right? So what do you do to tune in and heal? Well, there are many different things that you can do. But I wanted to touch on what we put into our bodies. Now more than ever, and at a deeper level, we have to pay attention to what we put in our bodies. And my last podcast episode on compassionate mindfulness touched on this a little. If you want to listen to that real quick, I have a little 5-minute rant on it. So we have to be able to put the proper nutrition into our bodies, right? We want to support our brain, body, nervous system, everything in between with nutrients they need. It has a deep impact on our psychological disposition. Now, the good news is that certain nutrients can uplevel our cognitive functioning. One of them, which happens to have a long tradition of use and scientific efficacy, is found abundantly in certain types of green tea, right? And green tea contains a certain type of amino acid called I-theanine. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing L-theanine. And it's one of the rare nutrients that can cross the blood-brain barrier. And in doing so, L-theanine is able to increase the activity of neurotransmitter GABA. And GABA plays an important role in reducing anxiety and making you feel more centered and relaxed. There's also amazing benefits to cacao, aka chocolate, but the one that's in its purest form. In fact, I'm so excited to try cacao this weekend in a ceremony for the very first time. So I'll tell you all about that on my next live. So knowledge is power, guys. And I believe that there can never be too many people sharing the same information if that information is there to help or heal or thrive or make you a better human. So I wanted to recommend a podcast where you can get great information when it comes to health and fitness, and that's the Model Health Show with Sean Stevenson. It's an amazing podcast that I stumbled upon. And full disclosure, most of what I have been talking to you guys about, I got from that podcast. It's just a really good one, so I highly recommend it. And last thing, in terms of tuning in and healing, and you'll hear me talk about this up until the event, I would be doing you a disservice if I did not mention my upcoming workshop, A Labor of Love, alongside my partner in mindful awareness and NSM, which is Neurodynamic Self-Management coach, Kirsten Johnson. If you or someone you know has been feeling this weird kind of shift in the air and you feel like your life is headed in a slightly different direction than where you wanted to go. For instance, you may feel like the job you're in is no longer serving you or no longer the right fit for you, or you need to be more assertive in life or need better boundaries. You know, we all need better boundaries, more clarity, a slight pivot. Consider joining us for this workshop. It's really one that will shift your mindset. You'll receive a powerful combination of mindset tools to help you transition, pivot, or propel you to the next stage of specific areas of your life where you wish to transform. The workshop itself is creative, playful, and fun, full of new explorations. It takes you through a multitude of exercises to find out your innermost goals that are supported by your subconscious mind. And so Kirsten Johnson is an NSM coach who was trained by Dr. Maja Strauch, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right, at the University of Zurich, and is the only one outside of Europe who is certified to teach this. So that in and of itself is a great reason for you to at least be curious about this workshop. She has an MA in coaching psychology and has taught NSM for years in San Diego, where she is right now. Her expertise combined with Shilpa and I's training in meditation coaching will make this a beautiful weekend of like-minded souls who crave personal development and seek to grow. It is limited spaces, so if you are at all interested, or if you know somebody who is interested, please do not hesitate to reach out, and I'll give you more information at that time. With that said, please have yourself a beautiful rest of your day. I wish you well. Be blessed.
As always, I thank you for tuning in. These episodes are meant to be of massive value to you, and so I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, all I ask in return is for you to give it a thumbs up, give it some love in the reviews, share with 1 or 2 friends whom you know will benefit from hearing this content. Check out the links in the description. Continue to lead with empathy, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Many blessings.